No DQ Galaxy, we are live with a recap of Friday Night Smackdown for December the 13th, 2023. Shout out to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. I appreciate your viewership and support. A very noteworthy edition of Smackdown, a busy news day in the world of wrestling in general. A lot going on as 2023 comes to a close. We also have the NoDQ.com year-end awards. You can vote now over at NoDQ.com. Check out all the latest news. Liv Morgan got arrested. NoDQ.com will have the latest updates on that. Kenny Omega is out of action. Charlotte Flair is out of action, apparently 9 months, according to WWE. And we had some twists and turns on this episode of SmackDown. We kicked off the show with the return of the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, with the bloodline. He said it's promotion season because he's a good boss. He gave praise to this individual he was going to promote. Jimmy Uso thought it was him, and he was in the background. He was smiling. He took off his jacket, but then Roman Reigns revealed that he was actually talking about Jimmy's brother, Solo Sikoa. Roman Reigns gave Solo a hug. Then we had the arrival of Randy Orton, and we had our first commercial break. They were milking this, trying to get the biggest number possible, with Roman Reigns making a rare appearance on television these days. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Building Nexus says, can you tell when Jimmy's heart rips in half? You know, I used the DVR. I did the rewind feature, and you could actually pinpoint the moment when Jimmy's heart ripped in half. Little Simpsons reference right there. So after the commercial break, we had Randy Orton saying that he was thinking about getting in the ring with Roman Reigns for the past 18 months. He said he's coming for Roman Reigns, and he officially issued a challenge to Roman Reigns championship match at the Royal Rumble Premium Live event. Now, Roman Reigns said he wasn't thinking of Randy Orton at all over the past 18 months. Reigns said that Orton has not earned the championship match, needs to go to the back of the line. And Reigns did warn that if they ever did have a match, it would be Randy Orton's retirement. Randy Orton went for an RKO. Roman Reigns was able to avoid it. And then Randy Orton said that the voices in his head have told him that Roman Reigns might have just crapped his pants. And then Randy Orton once again made it clear that Daddy's back. Good segment here to set up the Royal Rumble as we expected. Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns, but Reigns has not officially accepted the challenge as of late. We had our first match of the evening. If you like tournaments, this is the time to watch wrestling because you got that Continental Classic in AEW. And here you got the United States title contender tournament. You had Carmelo Hayes versus Grayson Waller. Carmelo Hayes from NXT. He got a video package. And we also had a little video that was sent in from Logan Paul. Paul made fun of Carmelo, said that Carmelo won an essay contest to get in the tournament. And Logan Paul said that Carmelo claims to not miss, but Logan Paul has missed Carmelo's entire career. Ouch. Anyways, pretty solid match here. We had Logan Paul say his piece, and then we had the match. Grayson Waller got the upper hand after Carmelo had a hot start. You had a couple near falls here. Grayson Waller with the flatliner, and then he did a really unique move. I'm not even sure how to describe it. Best thing I could say is like it was similar to MVP's Playmaker, where it puts his leg up over your head and neck and then does that flip. Only Carmelo took the bump from the middle rope. I think Grayson Waller was sitting on the top rope and then did the move. So yeah, it was pretty cool looking. Carmelo kicked out of it. Carmelo was selling his knee, but made a comeback, and he hit a springboard DDT. Waller kicked out of that, and then Carmelo was able to pick up the victory with the nothing but net. Pretty solid match here. And yeah, it was like an avalanche playmaker from Grayson Waller. That was probably the highlight of the match. It was good, but not like anything way over the top. It was a fairly standard match here. Just as mentioned here in the chat room, basically a showcase match for Carmelo Hayes. Good match, though. Rage of Wrestling sent in a $5 super chat. That's Walter Cruz. Says, I swear I don't know Liv and I didn't supply her, just saying. Anyways, like and share, hands on the merchandise, all that jazz. Hashtag stick to my shtick. Yes, get the merchandise, nodq.com/merch. Much love and appreciation to Walter Cruz. Thank you for tuning in and contributing in the chat room. Logan Paul definitely understands the assignment. He did a couple good promos here, and he did another one for our second match, which we will get to in just a moment. But first, we had a backstage segment with LA Knight approaching Randy Orton. Randy Orton basically told LA Knight they had their tag match, but that's done. LA Knight needs to stay out of Orton's way. And Knight said it's not going to be Orton, but it's going to be LA Knight that takes everything away from Roman Reigns, basically teasing some dissension here between Knight and Randy Orton. We had another tournament match for the United States Championship opportunity. Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory. Logan Paul once again provided a sent-in promo making fun of Kevin Owens for basically dressing like a fifth grader. Said that Owens is embarrassing himself. Owens was wearing a cast during the match, and Owens had a pretty strong start here. Theory had to slip to the outside of the ring. Owens came off the apron with a cannonball onto Theory, but then Theory got the upper hand for a while. Owens started to make a comeback, came off the top with a frog splash, but hurt his hand in the process. And then Owens went for a senton. Theory got his knees up. Theory hit a seated springboard Spanish fly. Owens kicked out. Owens kept fighting, and then they were back on the outside. Theory sent Owens into the ring post and then threw him over the barricade. Owens barely beat the 10 count. They ended up on the outside again. Theory went after the hand. He put Owens' hand on the steel steps and stomped on it. Got Owens back in the ring, but then Kevin Owens, with the one lucky punch, got the win over Austin Theory. SSBS Fanboy sent in a $2 super chat, says Theory should have won. Owens should have been DQ'd. Well, I'm not sure if the referee saw it or not, but I mean, Cowboy Bob Orton would use the cast all the time in matches. You know, you can't tell the guy not to wear a cast if he's hurt. And they're saying that Owens has a broken hand and all that stuff, so he's got to wear the cast, right, if he's going to wrestle. I mean, it's clearly being built up for Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. I mean, I fully expect that to be the eventual match that comes out of this tournament. Theory, Waller, they're basically putting over other guys at this point. They're those mid-card heels, kind of like The Miz, where they're always on TV, but they're basically there to put over the baby faces that are at a higher level. It is what it is. Shout out to Hamp Connell, much love. Super chat, I appreciate that. Says, today in history, WWE debuts the new Scratch logo, and Vince announces the era of how the say your prayers, take your vitamins. It's passe. And on the other channel, Bret Hart debuted on Monday Nitro. That was a taped Raw, and a lot of people consider that Vince promo. This was 1997. A lot of people consider that to be the official start of the Attitude Era. Like, there's a lot of debate. What was really the start? Was it WrestleMania 13? Was it Survivor Series? That's the night they debuted the Scratch logo. The logo was actually starting to be used at Survivor Series. That was the first time they aired the Desire videos. Or what were they called? Those videos where you had the guys in the warehouse talking about their accomplishments. That was the first Attitude promo, and that first one aired at Survivor Series, and Bret Hart was in that first video before he left the company. But yeah, the Vince promo, a lot of people consider that to be the official birth of the Attitude Era. And then, yeah, Bret Hart on Nitro. Man, was that a lackluster debut. Like, all the momentum, and like, we should have seen it coming back then, that things were not going to be good for WCW. Like, that was a sign right there. That was such a disappointing debut. Anyways, thank you for that super chat. Let's get back to SmackDown. We had Roman Reigns backstage with the Bloodline talking about how Randy Orton needs to be silenced. And Jimmy Uso was trying to say that, hey, maybe Solo Sikoa, the tribal heir, according to Reigns, should be the one to handle Randy Orton. But Reigns said it's going to be Jimmy. And Jimmy said yeet, which Roman Reigns just glared at him, was not amused in the slightest. And Jimmy responded by saying, no yeet. We had a Karrion Kross vignette. You know, he's been losing. He's barely on TV, but they're trying to push him again. He said that this place is going to be recycled and everybody's going to crumble, yada, yada, yada. I mean, this was like Miro. You know how Miro would be pushed and then they'd stop his push in AEW, and then they keep doing the videos about the Redeemer and his God is angry, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like the same thing here with Karrion Kross. They're just doing the vignette, but I mean, I don't even know if he can be salvaged at this point. I really don't. Like, I don't see how the guy's going to get any of his credibility back that he had. Really, I mean, he never had it much on the main roster to begin with, maybe at the beginning of his return last year, but nothing compared to how he was back in NXT. Yeah, I don't know why they're still trying to push Kross. I know Triple H likes the guy, but he's just not connecting with the audience. And we had Cameron Grimes make a little cameo. He gave some props to Kevin Owens, and while Owens was interviewed, he was approached by Carmelo Hayes. And Carmelo said he respects Owens, but needs the win more than Owens, and said that unlike Theory, and not going to be punched in the face, and walked through. So there you go. A little tease for Carmelo Hayes versus Kevin Owens. We had footage shown of Charlotte Flair getting hurt, and they did confirm she's going to be out of action for 9 months with a knee injury. Now, Could that number be exaggerated so when she does return, it'll be a surprise? I hope so. I hope for her sake she'll be back sooner rather than later. 9 months really sucks. I mean, that definitely takes her out of WrestleMania, which is a huge bummer. Best wishes to Charlotte Flair. We had a Damage Control vignette talking about how it's Io's era now. The Kabuki Warriors are stronger than ever. They're going to go for the tag team title soon. And Bayley is entering the Women's Royal Rumble to take Rhea Ripley's championship. We had a tag team match, the Kabuki Warriors versus Zelina Vega and Michin. They were trying to get some revenge, Zelina and Michin. They attacked the Kabuki Warriors during their entrance, and the Warriors got control during the break. They worked over Michin. Zelina Vega got a hot tag, 619 to Kairi, but then Kairi countered with a back fist. Asuka applied the Asuka lock. Zelina managed to counter that. Michin got tagged back in, built up some momentum, but then Kairi Sane broke up a pin. Kairi then gave Zelina an Alabama slam on the announce table, and then Dakota Kai got on the apron while Michin was going to the top rope. Bayley then shoved Michin off the top rope while the referee was distracted with Dakota. And then Kairi hit the Kairi Sane elbow, the insane elbow, and pinned Michin. So, showcase match for the Kabuki Warriors, and you had the outside interference. And yeah, we got the actual Kabuki Warriors entrance from 4 years ago. They brought that back. So, pretty cool. And maybe they'll get the tag team titles because, I mean, anything's better than right now. With all due respect to Chelsea Green, like they're basically a comedy tag team. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, you might as well have Kabuki Warriors win the titles, and then Bayley fails to go for the Raw title, and that further creates dissension with Damage Control and Bayley. We had Jimmy Uso backstage with his brother Solo, and Jimmy was concerned about Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman talking and wondered if Solo was going to have his back if things went south. Solo gave him the silent treatment, but then just said simply, "I'm your brother." And that was that. So what does that mean? Who knows? We had a little Santos Escobar vignette. He hyped up his match for next week against Bobby Lashley. Taped SmackDown, by the way. They're taping it as we speak, as I'm doing this live stream, as I speak, as you guys are watching. Spoilers should be up on No DQ by the time many of you are watching this on demand, so check that out if you want the spoilers, of course. If not, then don't click any links that say spoilers. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits cut a promo as well to hype up the match. And then we had the main event of the evening, Jimmy Uso versus, not Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso versus Randy Orton. Jimmy went right to the outside of the ring. He wanted a timeout. Randy Orton did his trademark, slamming him on the table multiple times. And then Jimmy finally got the upper hand for a while. Orton made his comeback, did his signature moves like the draping DDT, and then he was going for the RKO, but then Solo Sikoa came down, seemingly to have his brother's back. LA Knight then attacked Solo, fought him off. Randy Orton hit the RKO, got the win over Jimmy Uso. And then after the match, Roman Reigns attacked LA Knight, got in the ring, brawled with Randy Orton, but the numbers game caught up to Randy and LA Knight for that matter. It was a 3-on-2 beatdown when all of a sudden the music of AJ Styles hit. Styles came from the other side of the ring with the phenomenal forearm to Roman Reigns. Good guys cleared the ring, and it looked like all was well. Maybe a 3-on-3 match for down the line. But then we got the swerve. AJ Styles clotheslined LA Knight, effectively turning heel. And the question is, why AJ? Why? Why did he turn against LA Knight? Now, if you remember, AJ Styles was on the verge of getting a match with Roman Reigns, and then he got attacked, and then LA Knight just swooped right in, got the title match at Crown Jewel. So maybe that's why. Maybe AJ Styles is pissed that LA Knight basically took his spot, and now he's going to take it out on LA Knight. And yeah, AJ Styles was looking to be in great shape. And yeah, very, very strong ending to the show. I definitely like the swerve a lot and the cliffhanger at the end. Walter Cruz sent in a $10 super chat. Thank you for that, Walter. Much appreciated. Says, Roman is about to be on an island all alone soon as he is isolating Jay. Solo may have to take his brother's side solo versus Roman at Backlash, if that's still the PLE after Mania. Also a cliffhanger ending. Yeah. Well, the thing is with Jay, I feel like we still have to have Jay versus Jimmy Uso at some point. So I don't necessarily see Jimmy turning face, but, you know, he's saying yeet just like Jay. So you have to wonder if we will get that reunion. What I would like to see is the one-on-one match at WrestleMania, and then they hug it out. Brothers fight, and then they bury the hatchet, and we get the Usos back together again after WrestleMania. That's what I would like to see, because I really enjoy the Usos. But with that being said, I mean, Jay's doing fantastic work right now, but I do miss the Usos as a tag team, and you can always bring them back at some point for the feel-good moment. All in all, I enjoyed the show. I give it a B+. Like, until the ending, I was at a B. I thought it was a good show, but not anything too noteworthy, but solid stuff. The final angle was really strong. The heel turn, I liked it a lot. I mean, you got so many hot faces, and AJ Styles, he can really do either role. He can go back and forth, and yeah, maybe it's just better for him at this point to be a heel with all the red hot baby faces in the company. So yeah, I enjoyed the show very much. Solid wrestling, some good angles, cliffhanger at the end. And again, we'll have the spoilers up on NoDQ.com by the time many of you are watching this on demand. So check that out. All the latest news regarding Liv Morgan being arrested. Lots of stuff going on in wrestling right now. Thank you all so much for watching tonight. I very much appreciate it. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube and tell a friend. Spread the word about NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. Buy a shirt, NoDQ.com/merch. Say yeah to NoDQ.com. And I will see you all. Wait a minute. Caught it here. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. False ending. Says, do you think Jimmy's getting kicked out soon? No, because I still think we're getting Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso at WrestleMania. And Jimmy's going to have to do something really dark to satisfy the tribal chief. So yes, I do think we will get that match, and Jimmy is not getting kicked out in the near future. But after WrestleMania, who knows? Anything's possible. So thank you for that, Building Nexus. And now I will sign off. Take care, everybody, and I will see you all next time.